and onto the analog tab. On this tab, we control the analog inputs. As always, we have the device name and the device's IP address. But then down here, we have the analog group ID. This group ID needs to match the console, the ACN console that it would be talking to's group ID. And then down here, we have individual addresses. These addresses are mapped within this group ID. You could almost think of the group ID as a universe of DMX, except these are analog inputs. And this supports 0 to 32. 0 is essentially kind of turning it off, but 1 to 32 are the different, we'll say, universes of analog addresses. And I think I may have forgotten to show you this again, but click in on the question mark and we can click over here and it'll show you 0 to 32, and this is the group ID. Likewise over here, as we talk about the analog input mode, we have 0 to 10 volt, which is really giving you an analog and measuring the voltage variance between 0 and 10 volts. On and off, where it's 0 and 255 and kind of actually going digital. These addresses then map from 1 to 65,536. Let's make sure I got that right. 535. I was off by 1. So what you can do is, if you had need for just a ton of analog input, you could map this first one to 1 and do 1 through 24, and then plunk down another one next to it, leave this as 1, but then go through and start changing these to 25, 26, 27, 28. You get the idea. And now it's one, even though it's on two different devices, it's more like a continuous space of analog inputs. So you can kind of say group 1 is this whole thing over here at front of house, and group 2 is this thing backstage. And if you had more than 24 of those in each location, you could put 2 of them down, but one would be group 1 and one would be group 2, and then you could number these individually so they made sense to you. And that's analog inputs on the I/O gateway. Again, the group ID needs to match the ACN console's group ID for analog. Likewise, then the individual addresses as well. All right, let's go take a look at relays.